We absolutely crushed UFC Paris. My bets hit. Jacob's bets hit. Our community made over $133,000 betting on that card. So we're going to try to take that success and ride it right into UFC 293. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you all of our bets for UFC 293. But before I do, let's look at that success from UFC Paris. I made money. The bets I put in this video, I made money. Jacob made money on all of his bets. And the safety parlay hit again. The safety parlay is a premium thing. If you go to WeWantPicks.com, you click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. You're going to unlock a whole world of tools and bets and information. One of those things is the safety parlay. If we look at the last 10 weeks, it has hit 8 out of the last 10 parlays that were put up on the board. That's an 80% win rate. And the net profit of that is 7 units. Incredible profit, incredible win rate. The safety parlay has been as good as gold the last 10 events, and let's hope that continues. Again, if you want to unlock that, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. Let's take a look at our community success. Over $133,000 in winning tickets were shared with us. Who knows how many weren't, right? This is just premium members, the people who are members of the website, and the ones that went out of their way to thank us and show us the tickets. ND said Angelo's safety parlay and the hammer were on the same page this week. Solid play. My one, not yours, said up 2,500 in the last 3 weeks, mainly because I watch the analyst videos on YouTube. I talk a bunch in Discord, but premium is well worth it. Octagon Observer said this was my first card as a premium member. Thanks for all the hard work. Drakeson said clean sweep this week. Cashed all my bets thanks to premium. Come on said I've won nearly $10,000 in 4 weeks. I mean, it just continues to go. And the best part about premium membership is it's not just a handful of bets. You're going to see people out there. Oh, please sign up for my Discord. $5, $10. And the Discord is 5 bets in a list. What is that? What is that? We are the teach a fish model. Not only are we going to give you all of our bets, I'll give you the safety parlay. I'll give you every bet that I'm doing with my personal money. So will Jacob. So will Artem. So will Running Mouth MMA. But we're also going to give you tools and insight and information. We're going to give you the line movement tracker. This is a tool that gives you the opening odds, current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every single fight on every single card. It will help you identify spots, identify trends, hop off or hop on a certain bet. You're also going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics, and so much more. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. I will send you $50. We have affiliate deals with multiple sports books. If you use our links, first go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. If you use our links, and you sign up with any one of those sports books, you make a deposit, I send you $50 as a thank you. It's an affiliate deal. They're going to pay me. I'm going to take off some of that money. I'm going to give it to you. It's just that simple. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit, and I send you $50. Real money from my bank account to yours, and we send it through Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Let's talk about this card. UFC 293, mediocre. It's a mediocre card. The reality is we know exactly what's going to happen in a few fights. A couple of fights we don't know. I'm sure they'll all be entertaining, but it's not outside of the main event, which is like a random title fight. There's not a whole bunch going on, but we're going to break it down anyway, and we have a whole bunch of betting spots. But before I show you my actual bets, let's talk about who I think are some really good favorites and some really solid underdogs. It's a new look. You're going to see BetOnline odds. Those are the odds. So, for example, right now, Israel Adesanya, if you go to betonline.ag, he is a -650 favorite. You'll see BetOpenly odds. What BetOpenly is, they're not a casino. They are a peer-to-peer betting. It is betting, but they're not the casino. You're not betting against them. You're betting against other human beings that use the app. So if I wanted to bet on Israel Adesanya, I have 2 choices. I can go to a sports book, whether it's DraftKings or BetOnline or whoever, lay out the -650, and I'm betting against them, right? It's a sports book. They want me to lose. I want them to lose. Or I can go to BetOpenly, throw up a bet for Israel Adesanya at -488. Somebody's going to bet the other side of that. And then if I win, I take their money. If they win, they take my money. Because of that model, right? A sports book wants you to lose. They keep all the money if you lose. BetOpenly doesn't care about winning or losing. They're all about transactions. They're all about volume. They take 1%. It's a 1% transaction fee. Everything outside of that is just sheer volume or and value for their customers. So I wanted to add that column of bets here. Obviously, they are a partner of ours, but I do think it's important to show those odds because especially if you're got an underdog, you can hop in there, or you're on a huge favorite, you can hop in there and really cut into those odds and get better value. So let's talk through this. Most confident favorites, Israel Adesanya. I think we all know what's going to happen in that fight. I don't know if it's going to be a finish. I don't know if it's going to be a boring Izzy decision, but I do know Israel Adesanya is going to be the far better, more technical, more accurate striker in that fight. He will control the striking. He will win that fight. Then we got Manel Kape. Minus 385 on Bet Online, minus 335 Bet Openly. Pretty close, but still some value. And that 50 points there can be the difference between being down a little bit of money or up a little money at the end of the weekend. The Izzy gap is absolutely astronomical. But anyway, I think Manel Kape is just going to be light years ahead of Dos Santos. Dos Santos making his UFC debut, young kid, super aggressive, comes charging in. Manel Kape has great counter striking, the far more technical guy. I think he'll catch him on the way in. I think he'll get it done. Carlos Ulberg, he's fighting Da Un Jung. At one point in time, Da Un Jung was on a 16-fight unbeaten streak. Was taking out everybody, looked really, really good. Then Dustin Jacoby put him out. His last fight, he was grinded down. I just think Carlos Ulberg fighting at home, he's going to be the far more technical striker. As we know, he's a world-class kickboxer. And I think Carlos Ulberg is going to be able to control the strike and be able to get it done. We've seen his power. The only loss we've seen from him is when he was dominating Kenny and Chukwu and then got caught late. And then Nasrat Haqparast. He's in an interesting situation. He's fighting a failed Ultimate Fighter contestant who's making a UFC debut. There's a lot of weird variables there. Nasrat should be the far better striker. He can work in grappling if he needs to. I think this is just, there's levels, right? Nasrat's been in the UFC. He's been doing the things, fighting the high level of competition, and then his opponent had fought a couple people on the regional scene, made it into the Ultimate Fighter. I think there's just too big of a gap in competition and skill level. I think Nasrat's pretty confident, safe play there. And then the underdogs, we got Blood Diamond, Mike Mathetha, plus 260. Here's the reality of it. Blood Diamond is a phenomenal kickboxer who had well over 100 kickboxing fights, professional kickboxing fights at a very, very high level. He has come into the UFC. He is winless in the UFC, and that's because people are grinding on him. People are trying to take him down. There's been mixed success taking him to the ground. He is fighting a UFC debut from Fort Myers, Florida. And I'm not trying to shit on Fort Myers. My whole family lives there. What I am trying to say is we have an incredibly high-level kickboxer who has fought some of the best in the world, who's moved into MMA. He does defend a lot of takedowns, and he does it well, but there are times where he is taken down, he is held down. This is MMA and not kickboxing. And when you're fighting high-level, tried-and-true UFC fighters, being a pure kickboxer may not get it done. But when you're fighting a UFC debut who has losses on the regional scene, at home, on the other side of the world, you could have some real success. Last thing I'll say about Blood Diamond here, we all know UFC fighters don't make a lot of money. Charlie Radke, Blood Diamond's opponent, I don't know what he's going to be making, right? Let's say perfect world, it's 20-20. It's definitely not 20-20. Let's say it was. The UFC is going to say, okay, Charlie, you and one coach, maybe they'll say two, we will fly you to the other side of the world. You're going to have multiple connections, multiple layers. We'll get you there on a Tuesday. And then on Saturday, you have to be in the best peak. You have to fight the fight of your life on a huge stage in an arena that is very against you. Here's the problem. This guy's trying to cut weight. This guy's trying to get to the other side of the world, trying to stay positive, trying to get his sleep in, trying to eat right, trying to do all those things, adjust to the time difference. Like, there's so many factors there. And the reason I mention his pay is because he's just stuck with the UFC schedule. The UFC is going to fly him in. A typical event is a Tuesday. Maybe it's different for something on this scale internationally. But if he had money, real money, he could fly himself out there 3 weeks, adjust to the time difference, get himself ready. But he doesn't have that money to spend. So it's going to be whatever the UFC does, whatever nonsense flight they book him on, and however long it takes him to get there. So all of those factors, I think Blood Diamond's a phenomenal underdog. I do have a bet on him, and I'll show you that in a minute. Chepe Mariscal. I like Jack Jenkins. I got Jack Jenkins in a few parlays. But I fully recognize that Chepe Mariscal is a dog. I picked him and bet on him in his last fight where he was also an underdog. And that obviously cashed for me. But I do think personally, this is a bigger step up in competition, fighting in, enemy territory. For all of those reasons, I think Chepe loses, but I fully recognize that this dude is a collegiate wrestler. He's a jiu-jitsu champion, a kickboxing champion, and we saw him be a dog in a grind down fist fight, swinging, slanging, coming forward, making it happen. If that Chepe shows up, and if Jack Jenkins isn't on point, Chepe can win this fight. And then we got, first of all, every heavyweight fight can go in any direction. Every single one. I don't care which heavyweight we're talking about. We got Austin Lane. Yes, he just fought Justin Tafa, and that fight ended in 29 seconds. We didn't get to see much. But for 29 seconds, Austin Lane actually looked pretty good. And that sounds absurd. It was 29 seconds. Again, I think Justin Tafa wins. I got a bet on Justin Tafa. But if we're looking at underdogs and we're looking at value, plus 170 on Austin Lane is not a bad idea. I'm not doing it, but as an underdog, I think Austin Lane certainly is one of the more live ones. I know the community does as well. And notice I have Austin Lane here and not Tai Tuivasa. The difference is Tai Tuivasa, it's just a puncher's chance. He's not the better fighter in his matchup. Austin Lane actually is the better fighter in the matchup, the more well-rounded guy, the more athletic guy, the faster guy. I just personally don't think it's going to matter. I think Justin Tafa's legs are like tree trunks, so taking them down is impossible. And he has big power in his hands. I think he will connect. I think he'll make it happen. Austin Lane has a much clearer path to victory than not clearer, easier path than Tai Tuivasa does. So Austin Lane, decent underdog there. You'll get far better value, almost 2-to-1 money if you go to BETOPENLY and grab that. Here's my bets. There's a lot going on the screen. I'll walk you through. Money line, I only have one money line bet. Anton Turkalj, half a unit at minus 103. He's had a little bit of a rough go in the UFC. They said, here's Jalton Almeida. Good luck. I mean, Jalton could be heavyweight champion in 6 months. So that's a sort of a rough UFC short notice step up for him. Then he fought Vitor Petrino. Guy's a beast. It was a back and forth fight. It was a wild fight. It was a ton of fun. Vitor Petrino did edge the decision there because he was able to take down Anton a few times. Reality is Anton has his own takedowns. He had 11 in his Contender Series fight. He had a bunch in the Vitor Petrino fight. And this guy is a dog. He's not somebody you get out of there easily, and he sets an incredible pace. He doesn't slow down. He is fighting Tyson Pedro. Tyson Pedro slows down. Tyson Pedro does have nice takedowns, but he doesn't have the cardio to keep that pace going the whole fight. I just threw only a half a unit. It was basically even money on Anton. The odds are swinging a little bit. Anton's a favorite. Then the next day he's the dog. So it'll probably close somewhere around here. But I do think Anton can get it done, especially with his cardio, pace, and durability. The only prop bet I have is Blood Diamond, win inside the distance, decision, no action. And I got that at plus 250. If you remember the previous screen, that whole rant I went on, that rant is why I bet on Blood Diamond. And the previous screen said his money line bet was plus 260. So I'm getting plus 250. And if he loses a decision because he is taken down and he is laid on, I get a full refund. So to shave off 10 and still get a full refund, to get all the assurances of, yeah, just in case Charlie Radke takes him down and lays on top of him, I'll get my money back. But if he knocks Charlie out, which is, Blood Diamond's not going to win a decision. If he knocks Charlie out, I will get that plus 250 money. That's all this bet is saying. Then I have 3 different individual parlays. I tried to not overly expose myself to one fighter, and I tried to keep the risky ones together and the more confident ones together. This way I don't have a risky, 2 guys crush and then a risky guy just breaks it. Well, I've got 2 risky guys in Tafa and Volkov, and that's because they're heavyweights. I went with the heavyweights that I think are going to win their fights. I'm fairly confident in, and that's plus 108. I have a half a unit because they're freaking heavyweights. Then I got Jenkins and Nasrat Haqparast. I got that 1 unit minus 108. I do think Jenkins wins this fight. I fully recognize that Chepe Mariscal is a live underdog. I recognize his skill set. I just think the leg kicks of Jenkins, fighting in enemy territory, the pace, I think all of those things are going to be a little bit too much. I do think it can be a close fight, but I have that small parlay. And then I have the plus 112, Manel Kopp, Nasrat Haqparast, and Jamie Malarkey. you could throw Carlos Ulberg in there as well. I'm very confident in Carlos. But I think Manel Kopp, as I mentioned earlier, is just going to be the far better, more technical guy. Nasrat Haqparast, as I mentioned earlier, going to be the far better, more technical guy. Both of them are fighting UFC debuts. And then Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie Mullarkey, I don't love the guy. I don't think he's especially good, but he is fighting a 38-year-old. He does have a clear path to victory if he can work in the grappling. He is a busy guy, and while he was just knocked out, his opponent doesn't necessarily have that big, wild one-punch knockout power. So Jamie should be a safe play. Those are the 3 parlays. So I've got 1, 2, 3.5, and then the safety parlay. I've got like 5 units going on this card. And let's take a look at that safety parlay. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is a 3-leg. The reason it's divided like this, when I do 3-leg safety parlays, you have the base, 2 money lines minus 203. The keyword is safe. Then you add the 3rd leg at plus 104. I personally bet it twice. I do 1 unit on the base and then 1 unit on the 3 as a whole. You can do anything you want, frankly. Safety parlay has been doing well. It should still do well outside of some shocking outcomes. If you want to bet against the safety parlay, I do have an anti-safety parlay bet openly bet, meaning I bet my safety parlay on Bet Openly, and you can bet against it. And when you bet against my safety parlay, all you do is you need one of these fighters to lose. Not all, just any one of these fighters lose, and the parlay breaks, you get paid. It is minus 117, but again, it's a 3-leg parlay, and you just need 1 leg to lose. If you're a premium member, that link will be in the premium alerts channel in Discord if you want to bet against the safety parlay. Jacob's got a couple of bets going as well. He's got 12 total units. I'm going to give you a couple. He's got 10 more on the website for premium members only. His sample is he's got a money line on Jamie Mullarkey. I actually thought the UFC didn't allow fighters to bet on themselves, but apparently in this case you can. He has 1.15 units on himself. He just outright bet Blood Diamond. Half a unit on that. I walked through a million reasons why I think Blood Diamond wins. And then he bet Chepe Mariscal plus 3.5 points at plus 130. If you're a premium member, you saw that at plus 130. If you liked it, you grabbed it at plus 130. We're now, 4 or 5 days removed, 3 days removed. It is minus 155. That is why if you're a premium member, linking your Discord to premium, turning on those alerts is incredibly important. You'll see them as soon as the bets come in. If you like it, great, you grab it. If you don't, then don't. Don't ever just blindly copy a bet that you don't believe in. Don't do that. That's stupid. But point is, Jacob got some incredible value on what could be a close fight. I could win my parlay and Jacob could hit this bet. Those 2 things could happen. Because for this plus 3.5 points, it's a Bet Online exclusive. Go to weonpicks.com/bets, click Bet Online, sign up. I'll give you $50. All this is saying is you're buying a point on the judge's scorecard. So if Chepe wins or loses a 29-28 or better, Jacob hits this. So I can win my bet, and so can Jacob. If Jack Jenkins wins a 29-28 decision, Jacob hits this bet, my parlays hit. This is actually a solid bet. Then he's got 10 more units for premium members. You can unlock that at weonpicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. Talked about Bet Openly quite a bit in this video. I've got 2 links in the description. 3 bets total on Bet Openly for you to grab. 2 in the description. 1 is the anti-lock of the week. We bet on the lock of the week. Jacob's all in on the lock of the week. You can bet on Jack Jenkins, which is the other side. If you win, you literally are taking Jacob's money and putting it in your pocket. If you lose, well, he took your money and that's on you. Then the anti-safety parlay, which I described. And then we have a 3-pick contest. So get your best 3 picks in. It's $10 to enter. Whoever has the best 3 picks takes the entire pot. Mine are Jusette, Turkalj, and Miranda. It's not every fight. It's very specific which fights you can grab to make it more interesting, to make it more competitive. If it was every fight, it would just be, let me grab all the favorites and then we're done. That's not how this is going to work. So lock in your 3 best picks. $10 to enter. If 100 people join, you get all their money. 5 people join, you get all their money. 10,000 people join, you get all their money. The winner takes the pot. Those links are in the description. Guys, let me send you $50. weonpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, and I will send you $50 as a thank you.